It is time to get into Split, our second map of this series, in new grounds for both of these teams here in 2026, as we've seen on the VCT stage.
Yeah, NRG hasn't played this since Red Bull Homegrounds.
Yeah.
And then also for the side of MIBR, they haven't played since the summer's off-season. So I'm expecting, yeah, that's what I wanted to see. Some double duelists. Finally, we get to see Zekin being that secondary duelist for the side of MIBR. Long have we waited, and now we finally get it on that side. But also, if we want to look at it, NRG, we haven't seen him at all, and they still want to take advantage of that Whaley and the Tejo. So I feel like they're trying to build their own meta right now by keeping these two guys in tandem as well. Just kind of like that Tejo meta in the past with the Breach and the Yoru. But now you don't need that Breach to help out anymore, because Mata is going to be very self-sufficient on that Whaley to be able to just do the Saturate on top of the salvos to be able to gain that space. So very fun looks, as it's not going to be as new for the composition for the side of MIBR, but you know, MIBR plays to their own strengths, try to keep the compositions, recycle them, but have different looks every time.
It is neat to see, though. We don't see too many raises these days on Split. We still have a few. Obviously, it's comfort pick. Yeah, you'll see a lot of the waylays and things that can get in and out safely. But
it just makes me remember last year we were talking about how Aspas, that one map that he finally won on Vine was like his first Raze game that he won in a year. Now he plays Raze again on Split, but you know what? It's a different story. Aspas is the activated Aspas from last year, so this will be a banger second map.
See where they go to start. Smoke to just kind of deny entry into the side over at A. More of a hard hold on mid, but I think MIBR's focus to get themselves in sight here.
So much focus on middle. They don't care about that B site because, again, this composition is very good between the Whaley and the Tejo to just flip back and disrupt here on your hit. So they're just looking to fight MIBR toe-to-toe, knowing that the double dive right now, it's easy to take the ramp side, but also for MIBR side, they're playing full contact, 5-man hit.
Oof. Got a family photo if you try to peek ramp right now. All of MIBR are ready and locked in. We do see that Sheriff still, as you were talking about. They're taking a hold on Heaven. We'll play out the site until they either feel comfortable to go over towards B through frags or waterfall into sight. But right now, this is the point where NRG says, we're still in a position to make them come to us. So how can they do that? Oh, 1-for-1 there to start it off. And this is going to activate everybody from spawn. Scuba's peeking out at just the right time to get another kill. And this is going to force MIBR into the site.
What a nice flash. We'll talk about that in a second, though, because MIBR is getting a plant and they're turtled up in the side. They can't really play off-site anymore, so they have to trust each other, as they already lost one, though.
Concuss goes in. Mata already takes a hit and goes back. Oh, my gosh. A stiff wind will blow these two over, and that's what Ethan brings. The Sky knocks them down, and it's a quick defuse here with NRG on the retake.
Yeah, it almost also looks like for Tejo, for the side of NRG, they're putting a lot into the special delivery, the stun and the damage that comes on top of that, both of them being super low. And mind you, as we're going for this compositional switch, it's actually Brock playing this Tejo as well. But I want to underline that flash. So nice out from Ethan.
What are you doing? You're jumping with the frenzy twin? What the fuck?
Question was, who was going to bring the vibes now that Storm stepped out?
Yeah.
And Mata answered it correctly. Pretty much everybody across the board here have their moments and lift each other up. But the flash coming in from spawn side over into the A side elbow, so you flood on that spot. Something very rare that we don't usually see, but something that's not as rare that we're seeing today is a tech pause.
What's that?
A pause, a technica.
Oh, yeah. We'll get that sorted out. It wouldn't be NRG versus MIBR if we didn't have quick tech pause after a cool round. But it will be this time, so we stay consistent. We like the continuity here.
Yeah, if anything, to digest more on that pistol round when MIBR did a great job contacting on the top of that ramp, right? They used a Viper wall, they went for the contact. You talked about the family photo. As soon as they saw, you know, the first shots coming through, that's kind of like the flash. I'm blinded, I'm going to have to fall back. So NRG really just gave that fake space for MIBR.
Why
you
not?
take over Heaven, you're trying to hold that spot, and any type of util that they're trying to use to make sure that they clear it towards the spawn side or whatnot, it found zero value. So NRG's spacing is actually very good too, to ignore the util being thrown on the attack side so they can just punish it right after.
Yeah, the idea, I think, that round from the beginning for NRG was safe, right? 4 in mid. If you even saw anything, there's a simple trade there. Yeah, they were definitely moving as a pack just to ensure quite a bit of damage that round. Is the fold perfect, Hex? That's the question. Do the corners meet? Because if they don't, why are you trying? Why? You can't lose focus.
Wait, each side too. That was actually a fun little segment between Zekin and Jogimo.
Oh yeah, who can cut the best? That's a tough one. I mean, the K-Cat sprinkles you had to take in consideration. And then some of it's coming off on the knife. I think the hot dog was much easier, but then Jogmo's one tip was too big. What are you gonna do?
At least now it allows for us to talk a little bit more about what we're trying to touch upon on that first map when we talked about, you know, being new IGLs going into, or newer IGLs, newish, having a little bit of experience for both Ethan and for Verno. But now we're going into this second map where both of these teams coming out with their first looks in 2026. So sometimes you're going to have to overthink here for the side of Ethan and Verno. And will that actually nullify the value that he brings in terms of firepower? But so far for Ethan, no, he's looking very comfortable right now on that stage.
They are indeed. They are indeed.
But they're going to need to do a lot of work right now to make sure that they're staying on top of one another to try to at least close out the series if they can for the side of NRG. If not, MIBR trying to push this onto Breeze. Breeze will be a very fun one as well to look at if we get there.
Well, as they keep the vibes up, jumping around on the map on stage for this tech pause, we are going to make the most of this and turn this into a tech pause. That's pause, P-A-W-S. So if you're here in the studio, you got to get out your phones because your pets aren't here. But if you're at home, take a picture of your pets and put it out there to hashtag VCT Americas. I'm actually grabbing mine right now to figure out which one I can send over there. Go ahead, Vans. Take it away. I got to find a picture.
Meow Wolf.
Actually, I have one of Desmo right here under my PC. Hashtag
That's your cat's name.
Desmo, yes.
Where does Desmo come from?
It is named after Ducati engines of motorcycles.
Sick.
Because he purrs very loud. It was a fitting, a very fitting name. A very fitting name. I am trying, okay. Here is my cat. My cat. Paw. Do we have a hashtag pause in there? Nope, just tech paw, VCT America, boom. Cat sent over the interwebs.
All right.
And you should too. Or dog.
And now again, the exciting factor as we're able to continue to talk about this this second map too is Zekin now showing up as this duelist too. He's been not necessarily quiet, because when it comes down to watching that last week performance that he had, he didn't put up the huge numbers in, but at the same time, he just has enough aura that there's so much respect given to him that you forget other people as well.
It's crazy.
And even Zekin talked about it. Man, they're so afraid of me at this time. And now you have to be worried about Zekin playing as this Yoru. MIBR on a pistol eco, just going to farm ores. But the thing is, there's nobody really rolling a default on that side over towards A. So it's very hard for them to go back at that point to just maximize these orbs. Maybe picked up by Mata here as soon as he clears towards the A main side. But that is confirmation now after orb being picked up and you have this forward of control towards that A site. That MIBR are just looking to slow things down on that mid take, which is why you're cycling util this time around for energy. Snakebite already out. You're going to go smoke to smoke. And then gun out for Brock to try to mow some players down here on the Stinger.
I think if there's any contact here, we're going to see Brock util through that smoke. Stinger fall back. Both of them playing the same thing. Oh, man. Oh, little cat and mouse there. And Tex gets his head blown off as he tries to come up the rope. Mazzino checking for Kiko, and he does find him. But Kiko gets some great info that they're still just trying to default around the map here towards the B side.
Yeah, special delivery is going to do a lot again. Oh, never mind. Just brings it across the wall, but at least found information. This is still going to be a finish for MIBR towards this B side. They already have 3 players there for energy, so this should be an easy one. Gives me a chance here to just commend on Scuba's mechanical skills to be able to fall back the way he did after he's getting hunted down so quickly by 4 players.
The wherewithal to turn around for the quick kill, knowing it's still an escape, right? It's
you know your timings.
So good. And the timings there for the B take are going to be thwarted. NRG clean up a second round here as we get to the bonus. That's talked about this, how many they were able to convert and how strong NRG has been on the bonus. So let's see if MIBR can really take it to him on this one.
Yeah, because also when you're looking at what NRG brings out, winning pistol round, getting for a bonus to get rounds where they have a lot of rifles on their side too.
Yeah.
But now that they haven't lost too many players in the process though for the side of NRG, it's going to stay with what they had. Stingers, Judge, Bulldog. How do we want to run this here for energy?
Oh! I heard it from the crowd before I saw it on the screen. Hiya! Quick little tech pause coming in here. Oh, hope it's quick. Round by round. Round by round. Look at that. All right. And Jonah P said third map, so I'm ready for that.
I'm sorry?
Jonah P said third map.
Yeah, guaranteed,
he is
right?
considered that we are guaranteed a third map here on Debris.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at what MIBR is pulling out right now as their composition is something that's fairly known as well in terms of how you run things. You've seen some teams going into 2026 where they want to redefine the meta too, especially with Timotino for 100 Thieves, with how you're just pinpointing players that you just want to isolate and kill, going into like the shorty dash kills that he does very, very well. And it's fun to see that going into place, but the MIBR comp is still a sure lock right now to make this very doable on their side here for MIBR. Just as Fraud mentioned in the coach, or in the between map interview with Emily, you just got to play your own game, focus on what the game plan was. You understand where you're going to play against your opponents too. If you're going to play against the Waylay as a coach and you're watching these Vons and you're trying to prep for these, you already know the gaps that the Waylay is going to take, which is going to dash. How much more in terms of meters of like 5'10" with the saturate, which is going to throw that, right? So you could space yourself quite well to avoid that utility and fight back right after, which is something that Furia did excellently versus Sentinels in that upset match.
Yeah. That was a professional observer cat, by the way. Yeti's cat.
And that's a professional caster cat.
That's a caster cat. That's right. A big old Maine Coon. Who do we got here? Samso Kun's cat. Amazing. The tech paws are coming through. We love it. All right, we do need some dogs, though.
No, it's okay.
Where are the dogs?
I am a dog person, but I just like animals in general.
Oh my God, it's a guinea pig.
Even better.
That looks like a little snap pea. There we go.
Smiling at the same time.
Look at the flannel.
Little puppy eyes. Less puppy eyes.
There is a treat in the hand on the other side of that picture.
Sab is staring straight into my soul.
Whoa!
What? Is that cat radiant?
Yeah, probably, because he's looking at the play we just failed. Like, you did what with that smoke?
That sounds like a duo game between you and I.
Hello. Do you have games on your phone? This is good. This is how we spend the tech pause, ladies and gentlemen. Baba Booey.
That has to be Lhasa Apso, Shih Tzu. Love those. Those used to be my dogs. Hard to own a dog now. My wife's unfortunately allergic to dogs.
Oh, I'm sorry. See, that's the look I give you when you say that. You don't have a dog, what?
Hey, I'm living vicariously through these pictures.
Oh, the loaf feed? We love a good loaf. Loafing.
What? Oh, when the cat looks like a loaf of bread?
Yes.
I see.
Oh my gosh. Fly.
Tumnus is doing what I'm doing, snoozing over this tech pause.
Look at that. So good.
Actually, that's live, right? Because that split right there.
That
was just a couple of seconds ago.
That is, and that's what we're doing currently as we wait. But we do have our pros to explain their in-game names in a new episode of Profiles. Thank you so much for all the pause.
Okay, so my in-game name. So I just put my last name because that's what people started calling me in school at the time. So like Valorant came out and I had just changed schools, and there was already an Eduardo in the class. So they started calling me by my last name, and that was the first time it ever happened. So I thought it was cool that I put my last name as my IGN because again I didn't really think it through a lot. So that's it.
So the history of my IGN narrate, pretty much it just comes from, I used to have this name called Underrated. Like that was just my name in game and stuff. And I didn't like it because I just thought it was like too long to say. It's not a good name, to be honest. So I was making music at the time and I just want to find like a shorter version of that. So I just found the word narrate out of, rated, like underrated. I just found rate out of that and then made narrate. And obviously it relates to music, so I just thought it was a good name, and then the 4 is just because I'm really awesome and cool, and I just like pressing numbers.
The story behind my IGN is pretty simple. I wanted to be a try-hard back in Call of Duty days. I wanted something short, Apex. Everybody had Apex, so it's Apex backwards with an extra P and an A.
I played on like a minigame server, and there was like a community on it. I had friends we had the president, the senator, the mayor, and then I made myself the governor. Got rid of the because it was cleaner, but it's something that stuck. A lot of people think it's from like The Walking Dead, but it's nope, not that. Even though that would be easier than saying all this. Yeah, it's from The Walking Dead. Done. Maybe I should just lie, but yeah.
It's pretty random, honestly. My name used to be Virtue. Then everybody called me Vert anyway, or Verdi, so I just made it that, and we're here now.
It's kind of just something that came from the saying of he's popping off or this guy's popping or whatever, anything like that. Whenever I played CS, it always was a kind of common thing that I'd hear, so that's the main reason.
Oh, my IGN, my real name is Timothy, and my grandparents used to call me either Timo or Tino, and so I just took both those nicknames, put them together, and that was it. That's how I came up with it.
So in German, Meister means like master of something, and then my initials, like my real initials, are EG, so it's just like Eggmaster, kinda.
It's just like something I saw and I was like, that's a cool name. So it's like really no story to it.
When I was like 9 years old, like I played Minecraft like competitively, like PvP, like Bad Lion, like I feel like a lot of players might know what that is if they came from it. And my name was Big Fry 15. And then Minecraft made it where like you can change your name. And I'm like, you know what, I'm done with this name. Like I don't know why I made this my name. And I joined a random Minecraft server and I typed in chat like, what should I make my Minecraft name? And some guy named Untitled MC, and his name's Kevin, I think. I like catch up with this guy like every like 2 years or something. Like he'll just randomly message me like, holy crap, you're a pro. He was just like, bro, cool noob. And I'm like, you know what? Like for some reason in my head, like my 10-year-old head, I'm like, I love it. And yeah, I just became cool noob.
So where does Vansili come from?
So I used to play this mod in Quake 3 called Urban Terror. So it's kind of like looks kind of like Counter-Strike, and I had two teammates of mine called Vendetta and Vinsanity. So I wanted to have like a cool Val end name. And then I watched a movie called Enemy at the Gates, which was all about snipers back in like 2002, 2003. Sorry, I'm old. I know, I'm a dinosaur. But I was a sniper for my team. So I said, oh, instead of being Vasily, I'll just add an N in there, and I became Vansili.
So you're an op crutch.
Not anymore, because I can't opt or ban in this game.
Fair enough. That's really cool. It's always fun to see where people get their names from because it's something that it's ingrained in them, right? Yeah. Especially when it's like Mada, but it's actually Adam. It's your name, you know? A lot of them coming out of the TAC FBS scene would just turn your name around. I mean, that's my name. My longest CS name was Pixel, though. I don't know. That was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why I used that. I just did.
Have you had
it's
multiple?
Like, cool, that one that's really good.
Yeah. Have you had multiple evolutions of your aliases until one actually stuck? I guess you did because you finished with Rivington.
No, they'd always just change to something super random for the current time.
Yeah.
And then, after Pixel, nothing really stuck until Riv or Rivington.
Yeah,
and I was like, nobody's going to have that one.
I started with Shinji because of Evangelion.
Okay.
And then I went over
so then
to...
nobody liked you.
Yeah, basically. And then I went on to Shocky, Shockwave, and then Vansili, and that's
cool.
Since.
Cool. Yeah. Got it. Ah, yes. The imaginary Valorant. He is so deep inside, he doesn't even have that screen anymore.
He doesn't need it.
Yeah.
This guy, every one of his kills is intuitive.
This is now even from Ospas's point of view. From the man himself. So we're just getting that sorted out. Thank you so much for your patience throughout this. We get the right client open for this man so he knows what he's hearing and seeing. And we're going to get back in the game. We are on that bonus round again to see if NRG can bring themselves over that finish line to keep the strength going from map to map here. Already a 13-6 first map. If you missed it, it was very dominant on Abyss by NRG, showing us the Taeho comp and how they just continue to push through with those double initiators. But we'll see what they got in here on Split. Both teams showing us what they have here in 2026.
So pressure of the unknown as well for the side of MIBR with Fraud coaching and also Verno having the IGL, because if you're looking at Split, the map here that's being chosen by NRG, well, the last time that they showed that composition, or at least this map, was during the Red Bull Homegrounds, as we mentioned before.
Right.
But the comp that they brought in was actually Kiko playing like a the Killjoy, if I'm not mistaken, so switching around between KJ and Omen depending on the maps. And that in itself wasn't a real test into NRG trying to work a new meta going into the offseason. Bonkar mentioned it in a conversation with an independent interviewer, which is some entry Andre.
Got it.
So they were talking about it, where he was also mentioning where it was more of like a team building exercise and moment and event for Kiko to just be accustomed and acclimated to the team. Because outside of that Red Bull home grounds, all the practice that was done was still him playing at the 100 ping while he's still trying to work his visas coming into North America here. So it gives them a chance to get to know each other quite early and then just create a little bit of a brotherhood, friendship. You're already seeing it from the pictures. It's like a trio right now between Mata, Scuba, and also Kiko. Just being the bad boys now on the NRG socials. And now just finally going into getting acclimated and now building your team, building your strats, building your meta, and now going with a whole different composition that throws MIBR potentially for a loop right now to have to rethink.
Yeah, and if the coaches are true to their word, like GB says, it's always said they're playing their game, the way they practice, it's what keeps them comfortable, and that could very well be what helps MIBR push into this bonus round so they can get themselves on the board. Here we are,
golf claps.
Back in. Thank you so much for your patience. VCT Americas is live once again here with NRG versus MIBR, and they flex a little towards B. Last time it was leaving Mazzino. Now they're going to leave Zekin, which means a little bit more of how this strat's going to play out.
And remember, this is a bonus round for NRG, so already when you have Ethan pushing out and breaking that boom bot, you're now forcing MIBR to make the next play. And they're playing a slow default right now on their side, expecting an energy push, which is why you kind of have players just on the extremities watching for these pushes. But as it continues to stay super quiet, which has been the name of the game for energy, at least for the first few rounds, MIBR will have to go for the blind hit into a site and hoping that their util is good here to really overtake their opponents. And it looks to be a split potentially for Vents control at the start.
Yeah, a little bit of movement now for Tex up the ramp. And that's going to give them a little more access to that vent control that you're talking about if they want to take it. But there's also a paranoia ready here to take Heaven on B side.
Yeah, so and also with the time remaining. So you have 30 seconds left. You already dogged 15 seconds ago. Then they went for the drone and they still see Zekin here. You don't have a TP anymore for that Yoru, so you're probably just going to think that they're going to split into this B site. So they have the perfect read now with the numbers for energy on the high-low crossfires.
3 in sight. Ethan still has a flash in the back so they can get back into the fight. Dodging the first one, and Ospas has already got us off to the races. Somehow Energy are finding 2 to answer 3 now. And they're keeping it quiet still. There's almost no action, and Energy's just hiding in the shadows, waiting for the peaks from MIBR. And it's going to be an NRG round just like that.
Yeah. Ethan is amazing right now in his form from Champs until now. What really helped here, Energy move them forward to hoist that trophy at Champs is also, remember, the breach from Ethan on Sunset.
Yeah.
And his firepower, the way that he moves around, the way that he jiggles across, finding his perfect opportunities to isolate these fights is just pure advantages of fragging IGL that you have now for Energy's arsenal.
He still had that flash in hand too. I was like, I don't even need it. We're just gonna go ahead and clean this up. 7-0, not a problem. Seeker's ready. And that previously they had Scuba's ult to get into vents on Abyss early because of his ace. Now they have another big ultimate early and ready to stop MIBR. Whether they use it or not for the low buy, they might just go for the throat on MIBR's next buy.
There is a rifle though for Zekin. Small shield with a Phantom, and he's looking for the opener here. Getting 1 hit would be perfect for them to move into the next round. They could still buy in the next. Will have Dimensional Drift. Does get the dink onto Ethan. Unfortunately, that will not result into an orb and not into any map space at all here for MIBR as well.
So he's using Mata now just to get a bit more space and clear that back because he's so low. They already heard the judge and Vents, walked right away from Scuba once they heard him take down the dog, or the Prowler rather. Now they're going to work it towards B. A little bit of a lurk from Zekin on this one. Full clear down the right side. This is going to be an easy move for Energy now, but can they get into defensive position quick enough?
I already thought they had the read there with how forward Mata was on that A-line already, but using the Seekers, you'll take it on that side for MIBR in your quasi-eco.
So much space. Yeah, they're looking. Like, is he there? Oh, he's going to clean blindside them with his timing. Chooses the last one and is going to back off to play his life. Great pressure from Mata.
20 seconds left, though. Energy's overreading that. It's a hit from Vents to A, and finally, here comes the clone up, and that's the call.
They have
hit towards the B site.
Just a little bit. You're right, it could be the reason MIBR gets the ground they need. Ethan goes down from the damage earlier. That headshot over at A pays off. They just have to be careful for the return fire from Kiko. He's done it before, but is there enough? There's too many angles. It's only the head of Mata, and it can't be taken off. Beautiful job there coming around. Actually, that was ahead of his teammate, but still another round for NRG.
Yeah, I mean, even Kiko already did an excellent
Yeah.
job anchoring up on that site. Trying to figure out if it was going to get backstabbed in the front. He had a head on a swivel looking back towards that pillar, back towards Heaven, and then realizing after this kill on Heaven, there's no time left. I can hide around the pillar and then just win this off time for the team.
Jeez.
Looked good here for MIBR with that last second hit because it really felt like NRG overread and overthought the scenario. But the anchors around both Ethan and Kiko so far on the passive plays that they're holding around this B side has been excellent.
It does seem like unless the anchors move, they're still in a very advantageous position, even if they have the leaners going left and right between sites on the defensive side. Death ball status from MIBR, trying to put everyone together here for this gun round, and that operator from Mata is locked onto an A line. So again, NRG can move early. This is just like having that Seeker's info almost, just not as guaranteed.
And Zekin's waiting for that TP to come across here. So here comes the ult, then you take full map control.
Nightfall, Molly's over top, so they're committing their lineups. They're committing everything here. Zekin's already made it back site. Mazzino's able to clean up too and bring hell straight to the doorstep of NRG. And Scuba's only able to get a sniff at 1 kill here. Still 4 members in sight for MIBR.
Yeah, somehow the Nightfall got a lot of value here. Lots of tethers that you saw around that site. And that just allowed MIBR to very quickly tempo into the site. Just catch some players off guard. Op shot misses, and that will be Mata forcing to save that. So the first time that you're showing the op, that'll keep MIBR ready going into the next round, knowing that they have to watch out after Mata now, having to utilize very early util to try to spot where the opera will be.
Exactly.
That's why you're playing this composition. We just talked about the differences here. Having Prowlers, having the Boom Bot. It'll give you a chance right now to really work around that map and maybe avoid Mata in the first place, or try to find ways to punish him on top of that if you realize where the opera is going to be posted up on the next round.
Nicely executed onto B. MIBR knew exactly what they were doing there, and I think it also shows a little bit of the trust, as Jonah P was mentioning, that MIBR was lacking in the last map. They knew backside was taken, they believed that hell would be covered, and you see everybody else's eyes fixed on the priority angles that are then becoming a threat. So very nicely done.
While they only had to use the Nightfall, that was the only thing that was available for them in the last round for MIBR, but Zekin getting that space and getting the kill, that's dimensional drift available right now. This is actually great looking at MIBR's next couple of rounds. They're looking to 5-man hit once again, using potentially this ult from Zekin.
They think they're crushing into the op maybe and trying to take it offline.
It's a great way to spot the info as well.
Yeah.
This gives space for Osbos. He gets a pick. That's a showstopper available for him as well. And now Ethan is anchoring once again.
Paranoia through to clear the back of the site, and the rest of Verno and the team are coming through. Completely controlled. Tex gives him a little bit to work with on the ramp as he eats that concuss and backs up. And the util here, not fantastic for the side of NRG to get back into the site, and they're going to start to backpedal right away.
Yeah, so you currently have what we praise NRG for the last couple of rounds on the anchored plays from both Ethan and Kiko from round to round. The last two, though, they had perfect setup for numbers into the B side. I think they had 3 players there, but all of them got hit by the Nightfall. This time, Ethan's playing solo towards the A site, trying to flash and go for a play, but it's also punished. So now it'll have to be NRG trying to figure out if they want to slow down that tempo, maybe give up a little bit more space. We talk about how good the Waylay and the Teo is on the Flood retakes. And that might be a different look now coming in for NRG in the next few rounds.
The showstopper through kill or death. Osbos now has ultimate. And they continue to push just a little bit on the extremities. Oh, to see if they can find that. Yeah, found it.
They did. Yep.
Mazzino goes down, and Mata gets another one. The speed they're also working at really negates the op wanting to stand still, too. So I like the up pace by MIBR.
Yeah, so now you get to keep it. Mazzino has his ult going to the next round, and we see some plays, at least on Corrode, when they're trying to TP all the way back through defender spawn and trying to crunch through and go for that pincer maneuver. Could be something that's very doable this time around, especially when you have Osbos and Zekin grouped together with Mazzino at this point. Op is moving on that side. The Boombot is trying to clear it out first, though. I like that it's the buddy system and Kiko breaking that down, hoping to see somebody else swing behind that Boombot where Mata could get the kill with the op. But he hasn't shown that hand yet, so MIBR, it's still question marks of where that op could be.
Double star as well here from Kiko. Feeling like they may need to stop something right away as focus goes to mid. Really, the focus should be on A. Guiding Light doesn't actually tag anything. They were still hiding behind the wall, but the Prowler will give up a bit of this strategy.
Dog's gonna confirm a lot, though.
There we go. Absolutely confirmed. They're going to quickly drone the side of B just so NRG can make the final correct move here if they have to rotate. And this is also that time that MIBR starts to activate.
It almost looks like they wanted to try to go for Heaven in the first place so they could try to leverage a showstopper from Heaven into A. But now finally with the TP flash, Hans, lots of util to try to get in.
Fake TP?
It's going back and forth. They're trying to waste out that util on the side of the defense first for NRG. And there's that hit. Nothing to stop him this time around.
Haunt in. Oh, little bump on the bump on the blast pack. They collide with each other there, and it slows down the hit. Scuba and team are ready to receive. MIBR have to work a little bit harder to get this one to go through now. They're still just breaching the site after a few times of entry. First miss leaves Scuba alive. He gets to create more problems in the back of the site. He's still alive. Scuba still alive. Finally gets taken down, and they got 12 seconds. 12 seconds. That's the final kill they needed. What a scatterbrain round coming in there once the ult couldn't get through from the showstopper.
Yeah, you could see there from Scuba, he was just trying to find when that person inside that A site was going to get behind him. So he's just very similar to what was happening before for Kiko, looking back and forth in that 180 degree. And finally, there's been enough pullback to allow here Scuba to fall down. Off shot was beautiful, but in the end, they were in prime position to trade off each other. So it didn't really matter that they lost that spike. It's just as we mentioned before, I love that look from MIBR. You tried to go quick, you're trying to fake out that it's a plow into the site. You wasted out 2 waves of util on the defense for the side of NRG, and then you actually go for the hit. So very nicely done.
Regular pause.
Oh, thank God.
Team pause. This is the timeout coming in. And we'll get, most likely from NRG, to figure out what the hits from MIBR are doing that are so effective. And I think that speed is one of them. They're doing a good job of also making B main think there's something there all the time, and somebody has to stay in B, taking one away from that A side as it gets hit constantly.
Yeah. The timeout's important as well for this side of NRG, because now at this point, the tides have turned. The ults are actually more available on NRG's side, as you can see at the bottom of the screen now. Kiko with a big ult for retakes. Mada that could stall a lot with his slow field, and also Scuba with the ult. What I like as well from the looks of NRG is we've seen against Cloud9, they don't really necessarily always use ult for big pops for site hits. They also use big ults for just map control, as the slow field from Mada is one of those key points that really slowed down that 4-1 setup that C9 tried to take over the A orb all the time on Pearl. That's why you could see here they're not really trying to go for any type of trap plays. They're still trying to focus on their own look at the beginning on how they're defaulting, and they're map controlling that part.
Just like you called it, trying to get back into a position for themselves, and it's completely negated.
Off a clone.
Off that clone, off himself, he gets back into the gate crash. So while that position is lost, you got the convergence path, so it feels really good there. Towards mid, Mada says, we'll still give ourselves the first blood through spamming smoke. Nice timing there.
And just waiting as long as he can before he puts his snake bite down, so that also cancels out the paranoia.
He's almost able to get out. Has his secondary exit, though, in a saturate and just backpedal.
Just a very nice chess match from both of these teams in terms of depleting utility. Comes down now, again, to those fundamentals, which is why you're seeing MIBR group a lot more. 3 players now contact play on the top of that B Heaven side, where it's being watched at the bottom from Brock with his Bulldog.
No noise made just yet, so they're wondering if this is a ruse, if something's happening. A main control isn't just there off the rip for them. As the sky starts to rotate, it's going to be the hit coming in from MIBR. The smokes make it difficult, but Scuba still knows where the targets are going to be dropping. And it's just Mazzino now in sight, as Kiko is still back there. NRG strengthened the correct site and are there to make the play.
It looked like such a nice look at the beginning. When you have that Prowler and you're shooting that Prowler, well, technically, if that flash comes out of the smoke, it's going to fully blind Brock. But they didn't expect Scuba still at the bottom of hell, playing under the Omen smoke right here. So he doesn't get affected by any flash. 2 easy kills for him, which allows even Kiko playing outside in the open towards that back of the site to get his 1.
In those situations, it seems like MIBR is falling into the lap of NRG.
Yeah.
And how they're ready.
Literally, yeah. Gifted kills onto Scuba at that spot in that previous round, but again, it looked good at the very beginning in terms of the macro, though, wasting out that ult and salvo play. There was no util left for Brock in the mid-round. Yet NRG is still able to anchor up with the buddy system inside B with the stacks.
Nice little aggression here from Zekin. Dogged, saturate, quite a few things used over there towards A by NRG just to re-clear the space, and this may help as they go to B, as long as they're not spammed out here, as long as they don't get whittled down before they meet the site.
No, they'll just get Armageddon.
No, that's the truth, honestly. Brock's had some crazy positionings for that really affect his opponents.
Not this time.
To start it off, Brock sees red himself to start this one. And it looks like they are going to easily be able to encroach into the site.
I'm trying to not give a chance here for MIBR to set up in the post plant.
Quickly back in, Scuba and Mata, both with one way. MIBR don't know which way to look right now, and it's just Tex left alive. He better have a damn good shot swinging out of this Cosmic Divide, and Scuba's going to be there to clean it up. In the blink of an eye, NRG take back B.
That is just amazing. I think at that point is just sheer wit on this side here of Mata of how he wants to play around that wall that was set up by Kiko. Because you're hit by the Nightfall, you're low on HP. What are you going to do with that? You're leveraging your teammate's wall to isolate fights. Look how it goes, left and right, just playing the angles. Has a buddy system on top of that with Scuba watching on top of Heaven so that he could do his thing. It's just very nice from NRG to flood the way that they did. MIBR had no chance to really set up in that post plant. Lots of pings. You're seeing here trying to activate quite quickly and potentially go for that line at the TP in the back of the site again. Something that found value for Zekin to open up that hit on that B site.
I don't know if Kiko is actually in range to hear that in the position of the beginning shadow step. So he does have two, one for a delay, one for a smoke. He is going to start that suck up, and they get by it. Quickly gate crashed by, and Brock was not expecting the entry into the site, so it's the little things MIBR is starting to win over now that turns NRG for a loop.
Spike planted.
It's a huge opener. Armageddon also once again taken out of the picture within the round.
So, oh, just that jump in. So aggressive. Mata going in by himself. They're so confident in these fights. The swing there would have to have been incredible from his teammate to even help. Zekin's able to punish now, and that's going to be enough for them. Mazzino with that stinger has been going crazy over the past few series, so it's going to be deadly in his hands as he upgrades. But MIBR do get through the round, not too scrappy on kills, but they do lose a few.
Yeah, still 2 out of 2 out of Zekin to get value on his TP into the side, and you got to thank the support utility out from Burno. When you're clearing with a dog in a close left and also checking towards that pillar, you know it's clear. You could TP out in the open, get that pick. So Salvos actually didn't even cancel out the TP. It was just to counter that flood out from that B site main take from MIBR. Yeah. And then Zekin just finds even 3 kills on top of that. Maybe MIBR now. Well, actually, let's hold that thought. There's a little bit more aggression coming out here in terms of util. Zekin finding a lot of info in his dimensional drift. Here. Trying to stop Brock right away.
They've stalled out MIBR a little bit, but they know they can run through it! Oh, Kiko focusing a bit on those smokes, gets taken down as he gets chased down by the dimensional drift here. Mata quickly acting to take down the lurk. Can they focus towards mid? Or towards site now is the question. And it looks like they're actually going to meet up all the way on the outside for a late flank. No. That's a turn by Ethan. They say no.
It's hard. A 3 versus 4. You're looking out at what's left here on the side of MIBR. I mean, they still have flashes. They still have the haunt. Just trying to make it potentially expensive on the exits for the side of MIBR, but the money is also not the best. You see Scuba and Kiko. If it's not for these saves, they're going to have a broken buy. So keeping these 2 weapons are going to be super important. Ethan still keeping a lot of his util. Could really drop that a rifle for his teammates right after.
Oh, clean. The drone's one of the only things that found him salvation for a moment there. Can MIBR go for more? Doesn't like they're going to get the swing on. 6-5 here. NRG feeling good about the first half already with the 6 they have.
Yes, it'll be one of them. They'll have a broken buy in the end if they don't have a drop. That is surprising. Playing with that classic on top of that. Why the MIBR classic, I guess, at that point? I mean, usually you have a shorty or something to come out of the TP.
I did my ult with a classic instead of a shorty, and I still won.
There you go.
Yes, sir. Just like riding a bike. He knows what he's doing.
Help a girl out, would you?
He also probably knows he can affect Kiko as the smoker because he knows what Astra's going to want to be doing in those situations.
And you see here in this round, Ethan still only has that one flash, and he's already used it to try to find early information towards his ace line. So you have to drop, I think, a rifle for somebody to not be able to get full util. They're looking to fight back Armageddon with a trap play.
Protecting the saturate's going to cause MIBR to have to swing out, and that's right into the hands of NRG as they move through that B main area. 2 members left here in Zekin and Tex. They can get the job done. It's going to be difficult, though. Tex is going to be on that search, goes for the ult right away. I thought he might be seen for a moment, instantly dropped by Ethan. And this is going to be a tough one. 1 flash, 1 gate crash.
But it's Zekin.
This is the moment we've asked for on the switch to MIBR. What is the duelist going to be able to provide? And against 3, against the dual fire of NRG, they are too fast. And Zekin goes down. A 7th round here for NRG in the first half.
And that 1 flash from Ethan used towards that A side that gets no contact is like, well, they got to default towards B. Go for that trap play. You can even play the game on that B side with the Armageddon salvos and also the Saturate. Yeah. Look at this. What can you do?
Pushed out, Armageddon in, so they have to take the fight. K-Ho coming in later. The layering is absolutely incredible here from NRG, and we'll see if they can continue as we come back from break.
We've got 2 esports endemic brands coming together to create a series of products for esports, for the biggest stages.
퍼포먼스랑 컴페티션이 주요 키워드다 보니까 레이싱이라는 테마를 잡고 거기서 이제 영감받은 그래픽 요소들이나 다이나믹하고 날렵한 그런 실루엣 같은 것들을 저희 FS1 마우스에 적용을 해봤고요.
我们希望可以协助 Pulsar 成为电竞圈的顶尖品牌，而 Voxy 是其中一个助力。
Slide through, making moves, tell them fact check, go and get the truth. Who you know like us, go and get it jumping, gotta be the shoes. I was down bad, tripping, still kept the vision, had to see it through. Got them all tuned in like we in the hills, whole lot of views. Know they watching, what they saying, 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 what they saying. Know they watching, what they saying, 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 what they saying. Know they watching. Whole lot of views for real, just like a real for real. Gotta re-up the deal, we got the mass appeal. Whole lot of facts on facts on facts on facts on facts for real.
We're back here at VCT Americas. NRG now on the attack side to see the pain that they can bring here. Up by 2, 7-5. And they already have 1 map under their belt at 13-6. So we'll see how fast they come out gunning on this first round.
It's interesting when you're looking at the scoreboard as well. You're almost thinking sometimes the Yoru as your secondary duelist is going to be the sacrificial lamb right now, but it has really been Aspas at that point to allow MIBR to fast tempo and allowing Zekin to open up here on this side. But on defense, as you mentioned, not the best of looks. But this is a brand new year. We haven't seen these comps before from both of these teams. Their approach might be different this time around as well for MIBR on defense, where they could try to fight back.
Looks like they're fine with the retake here to start 2 from the defensive side. Just giving that space in, but they control A. And Ethan is actually quite hurt to start things off here.
It's quite unfortunate. It's always him that gets heavily damaged when he's the one healing his teammates.
Guardian to the face or something else. The man's the medic. He's still running around getting shot, unfortunately. Here's the take. They just jump into the site. Not too much util to alert that it's going to happen. And it takes him off guard for a moment. Tex able to hold down ramps. Does he know there's another one? And it's going to be Brock with that right click. They're still trying to find Scuba. Brock is left. And MIBR buckled down here for this pistol round to make sure they can walk away with it. Oh, no.
Wrong person.
It's just around him. He's drawn a beautiful picture of Mazzino there. Oh, my gosh. He gets away with a sliver of health. Brock finds the kill, but it doesn't matter.
Oh, my.
Woo. The spin moves.
Down to the wire again with what we saw in terms of scenarios on Abyss. But I gotta say, the look from MIBR was kind of nice. they just flooded right into the elbow. You saw how passively Aspas played, so he could throw paint shells on that right side when the players are being pressured. And then if they're trying to escape towards the A main, then you have Tex just waiting that up. So it's a nice little trap play that's not as aggressive from your star duelist in Aspas, but man, his utility is definitely helping out the team and keeping MIBR in this game. A Stinger buy with 2 Spectres. Looking to slow things down. One way is to being thrown by the side of Mazzino to spot feet. And Ethan is spotting bodies with bullets tapping through the smoke.
Mazzino happy to unload a few mags into the smoke. Looks like they're trying to get a check on mid, maybe one last time. Gate crash is there ready for Zekin, but no movements. This is all for the fact that they think NRG is going to pressure soon with a little bit of this B fake.
I mean, it almost looks like the exact look from MIBR, just with a different comp this time around.
Yeah.
Control that orb towards that side and maybe work towards that mid. But instead, they're going for the full rotate. After they haven't been pressured on that side on top mid, when they had the 2 players inserted in the first place, they know that there's no aggression coming out. They could thunderfoot all the way across until they get into this point right here. Walking in a spot is super important because walking or running could be heard right at this angle. So that's why you have to use Boombot right now to clear out space. But even the dog out from Ethan is also going to give you the tell.
Exactly. They're both regaining control of this area. And NRG feels comfortable about that. The C's will slow them down just a little bit, tying their shoes together for a moment. Here's the hit. Quick flash through the wall. Smoke towards heaven now as Aspas is trying to run around the site with a stinger. What is that from Zekin? The medium to long range stinger bringing the pain. He finds the 3rd one on a quick peek. And Brock goes down 7-7 for MIBR.
That's why you got to thank the snake bite actually thrown on Tex as well. So it just melts down your opponents as they try to go for a 20-second hit, maybe from a mid to B. But they definitely just got stopped across. Actually, the snake bite wasn't even in range. It was just to block the players from running up.
One of them had a bit of raise damage, and the other one just got clapped it. All right, then. 14-9, Zekin bringing out the Yoru like riding a bike for this guy. He's got thousands and thousands of rounds on Duelist and a few hundred on Smoke, so you know he still knows how to do this.
Staying far back is NRG this round. It's a bonus for MIBR. They haven't lost too many players in the process, so you just have to wait it out. You're also seeing how you're playing judges on the site for MIBR. You know you're playing against a Waylay, so playing towards mail or whatnot is not going to be the best place to play it. So you're just having Tex use his wall and leverage that as like the tight-knit hold the A ramp. Well, you have a 3-player push on that B side, or sorry, on the mid side for MIBR, just to watch Scuba's, just to watch their teammates back so that Tex can just focus on that A ramp.
That's all he is doing. Just making sure nobody crosses into heaven. And NRG are getting a lot of space for free here to choose where they might want to go. It could be a trap for them, but it also could be a way that they start off right at the front door of MIBR's defense. And it looks like getting up in the mailroom might be where they knock first.
I was about to say they almost didn't look at his teammates back anymore, and Tex is going to get shot in the back there by Mata.
Oh, right up there. It's obviously going to be a sight from Verno to save himself. Everybody's ready. This actually looks like the strat from NRG, honestly. 3 in sight with them falling in from heaven. But can MIBR have the same result NRG did? Hopping through. Kind of elephant footing on this one, stomping it, and that's going to give a lot of knowledge to Mazzino to do the damage. Scuba's down to 46 HP, and Ethan gets the plant down. Moving into the site very quick, actually, as they get a bit of a heal back from Ethan. Quickly found on one side, and he plays the look at me, so you can't double take the teammate. Verno and Tex coming up with a nice win there.
Interesting smoke being thrown by Mazzino as well, instead of just, well, I mean, usually that smoke being thrown on the top of mail is supposed to be the attack side, but yeah, you're throwing that on the heaven, so everybody's running through with a question mark when they come on the other side of the smoke, and you see 2 players sitting up at that spot. Top of heaven and also towards the top of stairs.
He escaped the pie! He escaped the pie!
And that's talking about the all-star Aspas escaping the pie.
Yep. Hey, we all love some pie. This time we avoid it, and it's for a good reason.
At least they're vibing and having fun right now. And also, you're definitely vibing now that you're taking the lead over NRG. It's been so one-sided for the Champs team since that first map. 13-6 final score. Now MIBR are looking to trade maps back on NRG's map pick.
And through a Zekin carry at this point, through the way that they're doing the double duelists. Obviously selfless for one of them to go in and kind of create a distraction, but the question's somewhat being answered there, that this team can work in that fashion. It's 8-7 though. They still have a lot of work to do, and that means NRG is right on your heels for this match.
Tough with the Prowler missing as well. You already have Scuba and Mata inserted on top of that ramp, and they're looking to go for the punish, trying to find their timing.
Mata slowly working up, actually just dodges out. Sees that there's nobody there from the dog. Here's him running backwards. Here's the reloads, and he can't find the timing, but he's giving himself up. They try to take the site. Discipline is cleaned up, and Verno goes down after a kill.
Spike planted.
Aspas' turn to shine because his teammates in a dimensional drift finding information for him.
Oh, yeah, he saw you. Mazzino trying to play a little funky on the ropes here. Second comes out of the dimensional drift. Aspas is already working the site. A double on elbow by himself, and Mazzino's gonna go for that defuse and hand it over after half to get the showstopper online quick.
And a heads-up play by Zekin to say, just paranoia. I'm gonna get out of the TP right now to not get punished. And then he just goes for the spray across the board. Just the calls coming out and just the heads-up play from Zekin is really helping MIBR not only take the lead, but maintain the lead, also allowing the defense to take 4 in a row. We talked about it being very difficult for MIBR in the past on the defense, and it's looking quite good right now with how free the Zekin is moving around this map.
And you see Verno there at the end of the round getting vocal very quick, knowing they have the momentum and they have to keep it, right? Some ultimates are coming up. They have to work against Ethan's Seekers. And that's actually going to be a timeout, so they'll have a little bit more time to talk.
Yeah, and just before we saw that, it was, again, a very vocal Verno.
Yep.
Trying to figure out here what they could do on the attack side. I had to praise the util that was being taken on the side of NRG to allow Mata to get that space on the top of Heaven first, though. When he's inserted in that vent, there was a Trailblazer that came across, and the dog pushes opponents back. But as soon as that dissipates, you're out of that range, there's salvos on top of that to push them even further back, and then Mata will take over that space. And he almost capitalized on a kill and capitalizing on players falling back. Exactly. And that would have given a huge advantage for NRG in the start. But then not necessarily whiffing a couple of shots, but maintaining that space so that the rest could tend to up on that A entrance and play the buddy system for that trade and take that site was nice. It's just now in the post plant, they're kind of out of position right now, and MIBR is able to take this. This is now 3 retakes out of 3 plants that is won by MIBR. So that is probably that main conversation for NRG's side.
Yeah, that situation where they save themselves, you can see MIBR is thinking like everything NRG is doing is for a reason, but an aggressive reason. That dog didn't come into clear so they can come in later. It's because someone else is right there behind it. Very smart to know that NRG is working off of everything, and that's going to be a flashback for both of them, as they do identify that it's going to be Tex up in Heaven. Very quick here by NRG to kind of position themselves again around the orb. Haven't grabbed it, and it looks like they disappeared just from the vision of Mazzino.
At this point, I feel like Ethan should play Teo so that he could get healed by Brock if Brock plays this guy, because he's the one always in contact and being low HP on the actual site hits in the end.
Hey, a good leader gives himself up, right?
True.
Lets everybody else flourish. And not too much of that happening for NRG this round. Nice job by MIBR. They still read that it's going to be B main. The noise cut didn't confuse anyone, and they quickly take down this low buy from NRG.
It's MIBR that's flourishing so far. Very nice anti-eco against NRG. That was probably a paranoia going into the TP from Mazzino to get these frags. There you go, with them fully blinded.
Yeah, you see it.
Just a right-click classic dash on the side of Mata in the first place, just to try to get Zekin out of that line to allow NRG to fast tempo if they can. But it's just so hard for them to bottleneck through that B site when Mazzino continues to throw these one-ways and being a nuisance right now to the B site.
He is. We saw him getting 4Ks on Abyss in their previous series. Mazzino, definitely one that can hold his ground, has a very good understanding of the state of the game and what needs to be done. Dang. Mata's so quick with it. 17-9 right now, pushing up, looking for kills himself, right? Nobody's really that close to him.
I like this, though. They have to give up mid and now pressuring towards that A main side. At least for the defense. But then for NRG, they go for the Seekers. They see where the util is at. They see where their opponents are at, and they're trying to go for the push.
Aspas gets pushed a little too quick there. First shots are going to have to just be a distraction for Insight, and they are still crosshairs broken enough for Ethan and Kiko to come in and finish the job.
Yeah, that was just a hero play attempted by Zekin. I mean, respect to him who was feeling it, but so far it's not really over yet. They're trying to chase down Mata. If they're able to take them down, that would have given them a little bit of a window to work with. But now Spike's been planted. Everybody's playing off-site. Should be the round for NRG.
I like that. Much more kind of round of distraction from NRG. Touch and go, find a fight. Make sure you're fighting on another front at the same time. It seems like they were giving MIBR a lot to look at for that one. And it's going to be a B-ending round win here for NRG with 4 alive.
And again, I wanted to talk about the respect to Zekin, what they tried to do, because there was big ults right now utilized by NRG to take over this B site, combining both the Seekers and the Armageddon, which, by the way, still combined to 3 pips on the side of Ethan and Brock at the end of that round. So great value taken out of those 2 initiators for the side of NRG. But he's trying to walk outside of that smoke, trying to get an outlaw pick into the top of heaven, and he has to flick up there to try to get that kill. Didn't happen. Now it's an off, though. Not on Zekin, it's on Aspas. Watching it from a passive angle on top of the A site, sorry.
Flash over top, that's going to be a quick blind. Nightfall goes out. They can trail a few.
Yeah, ping 3.
And it looks like they're not going to be able to get too much out of it other than that knowledge, which is still in itself very big. Those smokes may be reused or just missed from the site. NRG is still going to leave them there to maybe fake something as they push over towards B to make some noise. A is still the hit, and they've gotten MIBR to move around quite a bit, but Aspas will second guess and keep them in a 2-1-2.
Just like how Ethan was running back and healing at the same time, but it's regen shields and damage they've taken by a Nightfall, so it's not really needed at that point. And it's hard right now, Ethan. You're talking about selling a fake. Maybe it's a dog into the pit, but it's only him solo, so it's not really worth it at that point.
Yeah, it looks like everything's going to be used at site here.
Aspas will be ready for it. Has the operator to look down that line. That, I don't know. That might be a false call by MIBR. The TP doesn't see anybody on the top of that ramp.
Verno in a scary spot. Saturate comes through. Oh, he is trying to get out of there. Back to normal. Just everybody trying to be flash safe right now as NRG heads into the site, and Mata cleans up Aspas behind the map. Ulti goes down, and now Zekin trying to get in. A beautiful paranoia, but can they work off it? They don't know if it's hit anybody until they get themselves in. Oh my gosh, the push from Brock. Right in the face of MIBR, and the action doesn't end. Zekin's able to refresh just a little bit in the situation, and they're gonna have to try once more if they can get in together. Oh my gosh. They are throwing everything in the kitchen sink at MIBR right now. Tex is able to drop the wall, drop the ult rather.
It's not planted for them.
It's not. They got to get this down. Oh, I thought maybe just on the outside of that. But it's not going to be. Moving in, an easy kill from the ramp as they both swing together. Mata and Kiko are going to be able to finish it off and bring the game within 1.
Had to be Zekin on the outside and force the fight. If not, it's an easy kill and for Tex to fall down. And Tex, he actually got slowed down by that slow field from Mata and still gets that kill because they admitted from watching that spot. There, I think, is a miscomm because that wall was actually a defender wall that Mata hit through. I saw that ping coming out from Aspas, and the wall never came down. He was looking for that pick.
Such a baiter. He's such a baiter. He's such a baiter. Nice, guys. Nice.
And that's Zekin when, again, he was at the top while his teammate was trying to defuse. So the vibes are back now for NRG. They say, look, we still have the game in our hand.
And the operator now on Zekin. It switches hands. Aspas had that top site last time, showstopper for him, so he will be whipping out the ultimate when possible. And NRG says, okay, can we activate the ult early? Keep Spike down in the little give and go at the front of B. But Aspas holds that ult discipline.
Yeah, it was off shot to showstopper if that default from NRG on that B side was going to continue. And then with that boom bot, they could now start taking that forward position from Zekin and then rotate Aspas potentially somewhere else.
Time to jump.
Oh, they're going to keep pushing. I mean, a lot of players right now are in forward lines. If they lose their position on the A site, the retake's going to be a lot more difficult, so they kind of have to be more disciplined of where they want to start stacking up their buddy system here. And that
any sound.
Right there. Having that Prowler, nice little spray though by Mazzino.
Always Ethan. An unfortunate situation of this game for him, but through the smoke, Mazzino finds one, and they're still going to try to get in here. Oh wow, trading places, but Mata still finds the kill onto Mazzino, and he's still going haywire here in heaven. That's going to be a creep in from mid. Should be covered. Mata gets a third. A fourth and a fifth are still on the map, and he goes ahead and refracts right back to heaven to make sure he's part of what can happen up there.
That's a give-up moment. Zekin's still holding towards B main, so Ospas trying to keep the economy low if he can, but riches are aplenty for the side of NRG in this round.
Ospas gets one. Zekin could get another pip towards an ult here if somebody goes searching, but they're so far away. It's just about Ospas leaving this.
NRG just wants to guarantee the round, an opportunity for them to tie things up on a 10-10, and even then just winning that round might potentially make it a difficult buy for MIBR in the next. Vern only has 100 credits going into the next round. So again, very important for them to keep Showstopper and Op. Wouldn't be surprised if you want to get the Phantom to Verno in the next round and try to go for a Showstopper play, because that was attempted by the positioning from both Zekin and Ospas at the beginning of this round.
I mean, this win, 3 alive, it's almost like NRG will have the money they need here to see out the game as long as it doesn't go back and forth too much, even with buys. Yep, jeez. Just so aware of the situations, knowing that they've constantly been playing up there, too.
That was the most perfect round of Val I've ever seen from one guy.
That's what I'm saying. This guy was going haywire up there. Yeah, he's activated too. And a lot of the things Mata's been doing are a few, I should just say a range away from the team where they're not able to assist.
Yeah.
So he is just really trying to put a foot in the door right away, get in the face of NRG, or I'm sorry, MIBR, whether that comes away with a kill or whether he's just grabbing the info as a waylay ship.
And all he got were kills.
And all he got, oh darn.
You just talked about trading places. He went over Mazzino. Mazzino understands that he wants to play the defensive line, kind of like playing against a Yoru ult.
Yep.
Somebody's going to get behind. Other players are going to flood. I'll just try to get my 1 or 2. Nobody went through behind that dash from Mata. So Mata just turns around and kills him.
Yeah, it's just a space he's opening. And yeah, Util's providing that for him. You're going to need it from the team. I mean, Ethan actually couldn't give it to him that time because Ethan went down immediately. But still, Mata says, all right, a little more in my hands. I like the pressure. He goes crazy.
You saw that buy that we currently have with Verno. The low credits moving into this round will go for a stinger buy. And Ospas will keep the Phantom on his end, which is fine. Verno's goal right now is to control the information for the team, being that main person. It's not for Clone and Boombot. Those prowlers on that A side are super important to find that info for the team. And they've been,
okay.
All right, I'm gonna stop talking because that was a nice shot, and action's probably gonna continue now.
Just because it's smoking doesn't mean he's slow at shooting. All right. He's still got that duelist in him. Mata now again trying to go on a solo journey to see what he can find. Won't even really have Util from the team over here. He's going to play off of the noise being made at B.
Mata inserted himself again, though. Oh, Verno with the timing.
He found it.
It's the stinger that kills him.
Calling the strats, knowing the map. Verno has been watching Mata closely throughout this series, especially on Split. We're at 10-10 here for both teams' first appearance on this map, and they are really testing each other. Once again, Tex to hold down Heaven and delay even more. A more delay.
Yeah.
They are layering nicely.
And that's Kiko Smoke, being very similar to what they were doing on the previous side. Just try to scale up and try to get control of that B Heaven. Yeah, it's a nice shot, but at the same time,
30
is
seconds left.
up against the world. A 1 versus 5. Spike being down with 30 seconds left. Hunt for these kills. They're still comfortable to buy in the next round here for NRG. 18 seconds left. He's shooting to try to bait out some aggressive peaks on the side of MIBR.
They're too clean with it, though. They just check the minimap to see if it's an actual vision caught by their teammate. No crossfire had, no contact play needed. It's just the bounce house in the smoke. Kiko cannot get the plant down, and MIBR are within 2.
Yeah, to finish the map, 1 ahead of NRG. Form round to win right in the angle. But it's still the value that they're taking. I think it's also the conversation that came through towards the MIBR camp.
Good call on the jump across. Good call on the jump across, Ian.
So I expected a push from somebody to jump into Ramen, and that's Tex here having a sixth sense in terms of what he hears at the beginning of these rounds.
That's
Misses
crazy.
the orb, unfortunately, though.
That's a lot what they talk about on the team is that while Verno talks, a lot of the voices can still participate, and plays like that are pivotal.
This is important though right now. He missed that orb to look down towards middle, so you already have to start wasting smokes on the side of Mizzino. That's going to be one less smoke to utilize to throw one-ways on B or to try to prevent this push. So an advantage for NRG to not only take space, but to split into the B site, and they're going straight for that.
Holding. Good push from both sides. They've got actually Dog up top and Drone from B main. Aspas finally rips that showstopper we've been watching here, and almost the recoil control coming in for Tex. But they answer back one for another here. A 4 alive now for MIBR is don't give up numbers. The double peek, very nicely swung.
Beautiful.
You love that kind of protocol. And Mazzino's just gonna say, I got this one. Don't worry about it. 12 for MIBR with Breeze on the horizon. Can they get one more round?
Almost felt like that was intentional for him to miss the poison orb at the beginning so that you could bait players into the showstopper of Aspas at B Heaven.
Oh no, we messed up. Oh dear. Yeah, we don't talk about that though. We've seen a few of those this game. The sun was in his eyes.
And found redemption too for getting a kill as he pitched back on middle and drops that spike. Beautifully done towards the end in terms of MIBR's look in the second map versus the first one. Is very impressive. Everybody's shooting across the board. Yeah.
What a change.
Aspas finding value on the defensive side as well. So it makes it very difficult for NRG when you're unlocking everybody into the important rounds of a split. As MIBR is trying to push this into Breeze.
Pretty loud mid. First time we see Mata just kind of ripping the Vandal off through the smokes here, so they can say, yeah, here's some noise, cut it, and then they can play off it. Still in a default formation too for NRG.
Just trying to play that bait and switch on that side. I mean, for them, it doesn't really matter if Mata goes for that dash into vents again. They just want to control the mail and leverage Verno to watch into the ramp, which is why you're seeing them playing pretty passively on top of the Heaven side this time around for MIBR.
Now sub 1 minute, Zekin throws out the gate crash thinking if he's gonna get an op shot, he wants out of A so they can go for the retake, but it's all towards B. A lot of the focus now going towards mid, Boombot 2. I mean, they may be getting the info, the fact that nobody's there, and they're about to see him here in sight.
Nice.
Mazzino trying to save himself, gets to the right, but Scuba's cleaning up sight. The rest of the death ball, known as NRG, flies through in what could be a flawless 23rd round.
Yeah, it will. The last two have to save.
Yeah, they're gonna save.
The crazy, we'll have to look back at the replay. I want to know how Scuba did that. Did he just spray through the B Heaven smoke and drops 2 players there? Because I was going to say that everything was perfect by Mazzino. He plays towards that pillar side, gets slowed down by the saturate, but what he does is he flashes towards that B main before TPing out on the other end. So nobody could capitalize on that, on a dash, from the side of the waylay of Mata. Yet Scuba just sprays on the top of Heaven and gets 2 picks.
Now we get the full smoke, but yeah, we've been seeing that Heaven smoke that allows them to strafe out, kind of denying the fact that you can run out Heaven side and drop at the same time, maybe creating too many options.
Wow.
Mata, Ian Mata. Oh, Mata.
Verno really wants to keep this guy. He's even toying with them.
I see you. All right, they pull it back into their favor, stave off defeat here, and possibly can take this map in 2, but there's still more work to do here for NRG. Oh, the creep out, just the orb of the smoke did not play in MIBR's favor there.
Look like we're missing a little bit on that side to really try to flood out and help Mazzino on that side. Well, I guess they were really trying after that paranoia that was thrown and thinking that would probably blind enough players. Unfortunately, as we look back at the replay, it looks like it really only hit Mata.
All right, Viper's Pit, Dimensional Drift on the side of MIBR. We got Seekers for Ethan, which you know the Mastermind is gonna try to use that in a way to find out how to get macro down and move NRG or MIBR all over the map. Then they bring it back in with the Seekers to know exactly what site they can hit. That's my guess, because it just seems easier that way, and then they'll have to force work with Zekin's Dimensional Drift to get themselves out of it. That's it.
Simple as that.
It's easier said than done. We'll just see how it's done.
If anything, though, NRG is doing a great job avoiding the op at the beginning of these rounds. But so far, going into this last round, the timeout called by MIBR, the last one available for this last round of regulation. They're putting Zekin at the right spot, although doesn't seem like at an aggressive angle in the first place.
Yeah.
One orb away from getting the slow field for Mata, and that might be the first piece of the puzzle for NRG to flip back into the B side and push this into extra innings.
Seeker's right off the bat. The orb control won't even be there. Mata's going in to see, to distract, and goes down, doesn't get the refract in time. They're forced to move off towards the right side. Remember, this is either map 3 or OT here if MIBR can find the win. Pit's already down today.
Exactly.
This is forcing NRG's hand through the middle of the map and towards B.
Pit's out on that side. They've used Seekers at the beginning too to try to get that space for Mata. So now it's the mid-round information taken by MIBR. That spots 3 right there. Stays in the smoke. What? I think he wanted to TV, no? I don't know what happened there.
The third time he dimensional drifts, it's not going to be the one that Second gets a kill in. Each of the other ones, he's been able to come out successfully. And now they are back to even. That is
unfortunate, Riv, because him falling, it equalizes on a 4v4, but you're also thinning out the defense because you forced the Pit towards the A main. So now you're going to have to gamble the B side. There's a huge gap right now for them to take over back on the A side if they want to for NRG.
That was the operator, the one that holds hard lines, but it's actually Osboss and Verno. It doesn't matter. They're still doing the work. Mazzino has been a rock in sight, the safest pair of hands you could ask for at this point, and they're still trying to give him hell. The 1v1, it leaves it up to Verno and Tex, a Judge and a Vandal to come back in.
2v1 on that side, but Brock's been in this scenario before.
Beautiful util to catch him already, and he's cooking. Wait a minute, that's it! It's gonna be just like that. They don't even have to see the player to get the kill. It's gonna be MIBR taking split. We're going all the way to Breeze.